Hello everybody and welcome to HawkeyeFX Weekly Review with your host Marcus Toombs on the 19th of June 2017. Now as usual I'll start off by reviewing last week, and if we look at the daily fat man and recap, we were looking for yen had just turned over at the overbought territory. We were looking for yen weakness and this certainly didn't disappoint. We were also looking for US dollar strength and we're still looking for it. We're looking for euro weakness, and after the UK general election we were looking for pound weakness, although we were still waiting for the dust to settle. So let's start off with the yen charts on the 8 hour, and this was our biggest mover of the week, and we would have made some very good pips here just by looking for opportunities to trade yen weakness. If you see here in the last week, we've weakened against the US dollar, against the pound, against the euro, against the Canadian is a big mover, the Aussie and the New Zealand. Now on the US dollar charts here, you can see for the last week the US dollar has strengthened as expected against the euro here and against the yen. But as you can see, it's weakened against the pound, the Canadian, the Aussie and the New Zealand. We're still looking for real direction, even though the Fed raised interest rates last week. If we look here on the Euro 8 hour charts, we can see the Euro has indeed continued to weaken after turning over, which we've been following for the last couple of weeks. Weakened against the Canadian, Aussie, New Zealand, and starting now to weaken against the pound, the US dollar. But strengthening slightly actually against the yen, which in itself has been weakening. And then finally here on the pound charts, you can see that weakened on the Monday, but since then it was in a consolidation range here as people took stock of what was happening in the UK. And in fact, towards the end of the week, we started to strengthen here against the yen, the US dollar and the euro. Okay, we've got an extremely quiet week ahead in terms of news releases. You can see here the top tier news events. I can get them all on the one page here and just run through them. There really is a very quiet week, and so this is good for us technical traders, as some of the technical plays, more fundamental trading can come through and not be affected by news releases. So here we got tomorrow RAB minutes, and the only news for the pound in the whole week is the Governor Carney speaks. The US dollar's only got two items of news. This is existing home sales and new home sales on Friday. New Zealand interest rate decision is probably the most important of the week, where they expect to keep rates on hold. We've got Canadian core retail sales on Thursday and their inflation news on Friday. Really an extremely light calendar ahead this week. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily fat man to see what we should expect this week and which pairs we could look to trade against each other. You'll notice on this chart that I've added in three more colours now that we're used to looking at the fat man. The yellow line is the Canadian, the blue line is the New Zealand dollar, and the red line is the Aussie. And of these three currencies, they've all been strong recently, but now they're starting to turn. Certainly the New Zealand is just turning. We should look for weakness in the New Zealand this week after a big long run. We should look for the Aussie to turn down and also the Canadian to turn down, whether this is the latter part of this week or next. We should look for US dollar strength, although this is not showing any signs of wanting to appear still yet. Continuing euro weakness, but starting to look for this now to turn up and have another run of strength. And we can see here the pound has just turned up, and we will be looking for this to strengthen. Okay, the trades I'll be looking for this week: continuing yen weakness against all of the pairs stands out. And I will also be looking for pound strength and US dollar strength to start coming into play, while the commodity countries may still continue to strengthen before they do start to weaken. Okay, I hope you have a very good week trading, and please do keep up with my tips on HawkeyeFX.